Yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. How's everyone doing tonight? We did a full 2-minute intro and about 2 sentences into my intro when I realized I didn't hit the go live button yet. So you're in for a real treat tonight. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around. Thank you for tuning in and joining in for the Boba Squadron recap of the Disney Plus TV show Andor, episode 7. I have no excuse. It's been a long day. That sounds like an excuse, but the other squadron people are still laughing at me. I sat through the music for 2 minutes. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. What I like to do here on the channel is we talk about toys and action figures, and a lot of the times there's really cool TV shows or movies that give us these action figures. So we get to talk about both at the same time, and I get to do it with some really great friends of mine. The people in the chat, the Butter Nation watching live or on the replay, get to kind of interact with us, join in, throw in some comments, their insights, and of course, especially with today's introduction, you can troll me in the comments. So feel free to subscribe and follow every week. There's unboxing Thursdays every week. A lot of other toy content. So thank you for being here. Since we're getting right into it, and let's say what's up to people in the chat, because everything's out of order today. You're out of order. We have Winger Lose here, channel member in the chat. Tommy K. Tommy, it was great to see you on the weekend. We can talk about that real quick. Another channel member, 8 and Skate is here. Bad Wolf Media is in the house. Anna, great to see you, Anna, on the weekend and tonight as well. Thomas D, good evening to you. Thomas D, there you go, saying hi to everyone in the chat. That's awesome. Bitter Asian Dude Inc says, let's go. Was that Paul's way of telling me you're not live? I wish I saw that. Carl's here. What's up, Carl? Good to see you. Stream Elements, Bearded Builds. What's going on? Another channel member, Darth Gutierrez. Welcome back. We're going to talk. We're gonna talk some Andor tonight. I'm just reading more trolling comments from my friends. Well, let's bring them on. The first member of the Boba Squadron coming on tonight is a longtime friend of the channel. I got to hang out with him this weekend, and it was a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to our friend, Mr. Paul Sun-hyung Lee. I am way off. You were laughing so hard in the little preview window. Hey Paul, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Have you ever done that? Is
Never.
that worse than any?
Not like that. That was so funny because I'm looking at the preview window going, none of the opening is being broadcasted. And I'm thinking, oh, he's not live. He's not, and then you came on and you're doing that whole thing, and I just wanted to see how long it would take.
Oh, you didn't say anything?
No, man, that's on you. It was so funny. He did his whole opening, everybody.
No, it was only like 2 sentences.
He was talking. He's like, oh, so here we are. Here we're doing this, and then he stops and he goes, oh, I forgot to hit the live button. And then I
don't know what I was doing. Hey, Paul, you had a great party on the weekend. Let's talk about that. What's going on?
Oh, we had a great time this weekend. Yeah, we had the inaugural Bitter Bash over at the Bitter Bash. Oh my God, the Bad Bash over at Stormcrow Manor. I'm still pretty much hungover from it. It was a great evening. A lot of people came out. We hit capacity, which was really exciting. There was some great cosplay. Got to see a lot of, oh wow, you're getting quite the spam feed here. Sexfine.info, new dating for all tastes and ages. Wow, everything is coming up Millhouse.
Don't
for this live
read
stream.
It. Now they have a sound bite with your face and yeah. You just giving them free commercial.
Oh no. The porn bots, they now have my voice. This is what happens when Yoko isn't here. That's basically it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, let's blame Yoko.
Yeah, it's all Yoko's fault. So yeah, we're at capacity. We raised a lot of money. We're still waiting to get the final numbers from Stormcrow, but a heartfelt thank you to everybody who came out, supported a great cause. We raised money for Mutt's Dog Rescue. That's an organization that's very near and dear to my heart. We got our dog Podrick through them. It's a worthy cause and a really, really great chance to celebrate. And I had some really good friends, part of the SOC crew out in the West Coast. They came out, they flew all the way out from Los Angeles and Vancouver. Special thank you to Brandon, to Ryan, to Steve 3, and to Allie. And of course, I got to meet some new friends. Ryan used crashing with the twins, finally got to meet the twins and Fiona. And it's going to be great because all this week, it's our Halloween sort of build up to having fun. Oh, there she is. Hi, Yoko.
And there it is.
So, but you're here. You're commenting. So, like,
yeah, Paul has
what
a
up
line of
with that?
questioning for you.
Anyways,
all good.
It was great. So we'll get the numbers
fun,
for it,
man.
and yeah, we're gonna get a lot of. I think it was successful enough that we're gonna go. We're hoping to turn it into an annual event, and Bad Bash, the Bad Bash part the second, will be going. So we're really, really happy about that. And yeah, once we get the numbers out, I will share them on my socials. But I think it's safe to say a lot of people had a lot of fun, and we couldn't have done it without the generous donations from Stormcrow Manor. They donated the space, they donated the food. Their staff was incredible. I cannot say enough about how well they treated everybody, how helpful they were, how instrumental they were in getting this off the ground. And again, to all our donors, Sideshow Collectibles. They go, Carl, Toying Around still drunk from Paul's. Well, he showed up late, so we had a lot of catching up to do. That's basically it. But again, we had a lot of generous organizations donate. Sideshow Collectibles, the Blue Jays, Gentle Giant, and Diamond Select, Udon Entertainment, and Kevin. Yes, you were kind enough to donate a sweater, Toying Around sweater, and I think.
Did anyone win the Boba Squadron hoodie?
The Boba Squadron sweatshirt.
Yeah.
You know what? I think because it wasn't on display, we didn't get it in time. But your donation was still, it's still great. I'm probably going to use it if you don't mind. And I'll do it as a giveaway on the channel.
Because you laughed at me so hard. And you still are. All right, give it back. Give it back.
He's a professional YouTuber.
Oh my God. Of all the people to stream with when that happened.
That's great. Yeah, and for those of you who didn't make it, there's going to be more. There's going to be more. So we'll find a time to do it again next year. And we'll definitely see you all out for part the second.
Yeah, we have some stories. We can do it real quick, talk about it real quick once we bring on the next person. But if you have more updates and photos from the event, where should people be following you and checking it out, things like that?
Oh, you want me? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
YouTube channel. I've got a YouTube channel called Bitter Asian Dude Inc. You can find it on YouTube, also my socials. You can find me on Instagram under @AngryAppa. Also on Twitter, I'm at Bitter Asian Dude. And I've got a Facebook page under Paul Sun-hyung Lee. That's my fan page. And yeah, you can follow me there for more information. I'm collecting a lot of photographs from people who are there and had a great time. I see Chris Christie's in the chats right there.
Yes.
Chris, thank you so much for getting me that wonderful print of Jay and Silent Bob outside of Kim's Convenience with a picture of Appa screaming at him. That was signed by Kevin Smith. So that was a really, really nice treat. Thank you so much, Chris. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to you. You kind of snuck out the back door there, but we'll catch you the next time. But I want to say thank you so much for that gesture. It was absolutely delightful to meet you in person.
Fantastic. Yeah, we're going to have some stories real quick, but make sure you follow Paul. There's a lot of great, everyone had a great time. They were all there to hang out, and it was great to meet members of the Bitter Brigade in the chat. And from the chat to see them in person. So that's fantastic. Unfortunately, this next person could not make it in time, but possibly he didn't get the invite link that Paul allegedly sent. Here's our friend, the Fallen Fett, Ernie. What's up, Ernie?
Hey, guys, what's up? Man, what an intro. This has been the best. I've been cracking up. Paul says, I didn't realize it. I heard you're going and everything. And then when you had said, and I didn't hit the live because he kind of flew right into it. I was all, what? Man, that was cool. But hey,
Make sure you don't wait. What?
nice
Make sure
save.
you don't do that, Ernie.
Yeah, I probably will at least once. But you know what? On my end, I'll probably do a whole show, and then at the end, be like, all right, that was cool. Wondering why everybody was so quiet. Yeah.
It's like no chats, no people live.
No nothing.
Like, it was the first time I was showing my feet on my.
Everyone
missed it. I forgot to hit record.
Yeah, man, I wish I could have been there with you guys. It looked like a blast. I can't wait to hear all about it. Sucks Yoko's not here. I didn't know she was going to be here. This is like always like my height of the week is to come and talk to you guys and catch up real quick and then us talk Star Wars. So and then to top it off, then we mess it all up and of course she's in the chat. Like, I'm already feel scared.
What's this we
mess
it up?
Sorry. Sorry. I need to know my place. Man,
good to see you again. Where can people check out what you're up to lately?
Just on Wednesday nights at 5:30 with the Fallen Fett Chronicles. I just got my computer back.
Yay.
So yes, finally. So
nice.
I'm going through that. Still trying to set it up. It's been a very, very busy weekend. So Corinne did her first street fair for all her ears. Nice. For Magically Crafted, and we went and did that, and she was working her butt off. So we've been very busy, but I did get it back in. But hopefully tomorrow I'll have a chance to fine tune everything and get it all set for Wednesday and like that. So Wednesdays at 5:30 on my channel, and then after that with Sarlacc Digest, we've got some more Star Wars news, and then Thursday nights with Toy Migos on They're Not Dolls at 8:15 p.m.
And I'm going to Disney soon, and I have the wonderful ears that Corinne made.
Nice.
Remind everyone, where can they get some customized Mickey ears or Minnie ears?
Magically Crafted US. So all one word, Magically Crafted, and then US at the end of it. Her Etsy shop, Instagram, TikTok. She's going to do a whole thing on TikTok right now. She's trying to get 1,000 followers to go live, so she can make her ears live and do all that stuff. So she's going to give away a pair and give away a Loungefly bag when she hits 1,000.
Very nice.
Yeah, if you go follow her on TikTok like that, or if you're looking for all that info, then just evil.diva on Instagram, and you can find all that info there.
Yes, definitely go check it out. I got some cool ears.
Yeah, man, that sucks. We're supposed to be our meetup. Unfortunately, I can't make it, so we got to make it another day. But you have fun.
I can't wait. It would have been cool if you could have been there, man.
I know.
Again, Yoko in the chat says Yoko can't make it tonight, but she says, "Sorry, I'm not there tonight, but have a great show." Yoko, you are missed. You definitely would have reminded me to go live, but it's one less person to laugh at me. So that's great. Chris Christie in the chat. Bearded Builds, how's it going, Peter? He says he's so upset he couldn't make it on Friday. Yeah, Peter, it was a lot of fun. I was in a full costume. A lot of people were dressed up. It was fantastic. Toy Rensu is here. On the weekend, I recorded an episode of Hunting Around at Toys R Us. And Paul, our episode, I'm just going to keep it like 40 something minutes, and if people watch the whole thing, they're gonna watch the whole thing. Like,
okay,
it's hilarious. And I don't know, I don't need to cut it into 2 parts. I think if people want to watch you and I kind of goof around,
it's gonna be watched.
They're gonna watch it. So
it is, yeah.
I had so much fun.
I'm not gonna break it into a 6-part miniseries, but it should be coming up soon. I'm not streaming on Unboxing Thursdays next week, so I might just do the release then, like a premiere. I'm gonna play a small clip for someone. This is like a behind the scenes kind of deleted scene. If you know the movie True Lies, it makes more sense. If you don't, I kind of explain it.
Love that movie.
Let me preface it by saying, like, I watched that movie when it came out and there wasn't, an internet to. It's like when you listen to music and you can only listen to. You kind of guess what the words are, and if the lyrics aren't in the CD
Yes.
book jacket, like I don't know what the words are, so I could sometimes get the words wrong based on how I hear it. So to preface this clip, I just misheard what was said. Anyway, here, take a look.
You're gonna blame your lack of internet for that?
Shut up. Wouldn't have helped anyway, because I would have missed the translate button or something. Here we go.
Battery Aziz.
Battery Aziz. True Lies?
Yes.
Each week. Battery Aziz.
Very good. Very good.
I've been saying that ever since the movie came out, because the guy was so scared.
Yeah.
He's looking at him, he's like, he comes out from behind the camera, he's like,
So sweaty.
But it's for everything.
what?
Battery Aziz.
The Xbox controller battery's out, I'll turn on like battery Aziz. Or the remote.
What language is that?
That is shit.
No, do you know?
Yeah, I think the guy's Arab.
It's Arabic. It's an accent. Battery Aziz.
Is he saying
The
batteries?
guy's name is Aziz. So he's saying Battery Aziz. He's not saying anything in Arabic. That's so racist. Oh my God.
That's why I asked Mo.
See, he,
Battery Aziz.
Oh, that's great.
I didn't know. For 28 years, I've been saying batteries. Like I thought it was the word for batteries in that language until the batteries ran out on that shoot for that one camera, and me and my buddy Mo, who's the cameraman, sound off, and of course Paul knows it too. So then I go to Google it, sure enough, or I go to YouTube it. All the YouTube videos are like True Lies, battery, space, Aziz. And I'm like, hey, how would I have known? How would I have known in like 94? So for 20 years, no one said anything.
The rest of us were able to figure it out. I don't know. I don't know. Just saying.
It's just a different interpretation. That's all.
How many times have you used that in a store, though?
Oh my God.
Said it and thought Kevin said, I'm going to be cool. Watch this.
What if I've been saying it and other people were like, that's not English. So is that the word for batteries in Chinese? Like, did they think I was saying it weird? Yeah. So that's a deleted scene from mine and Paul's episode. So just imagine how the rest of it is gonna be. So
That's
again,
a deleted scene?
I mean, I could keep it there.
No. That's awesome. I mean, if that got cut, I wonder what made the cut.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Well, you know what you did. But also, again, Paul, thank you for inviting me to your party. You texted me like 2 days after, a day after the party ended. And it was a really weird text because you messaged me and you're like,
yeah,
the woman that was with you. Well, you didn't whisper it because it's text, but it's like the woman that was with you. Was that your wife? And I'm like, yeah. Why do you ask? And you're like, oh, because you introduced her to me as your friend. And that seems a very weird way to introduce my wife.
I thought that was odd, man. That's why I was like, was that his wife? What? Because you were dressed up as Spider-Man. So he was cosplaying as Spider-Man, and his wife, or as she was, I swear to God, she was introduced to me as my friend. I didn't realize that she was dressed up as Spider-Gwen because she had a jacket on over it, and until the end of the night. And then, her jacket was open and went, oh, you're Spider-Gwen. And she's like, yeah, it was cold. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I thought, that's weird. That Kevin brought a lady friend and they dressed up in matching cosplay. Wait a minute.
In a couple's costume.
Because I'd never met his wife in real life. And I didn't know what she looked like, right? And so it was just one of those things where I don't want to make assumptions. I don't know. Do you have an open relationship? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not judging, right? It's like with your kids too, right? Like I didn't know because you recently got married, and remember I asked, so your kids, like, are they your kids or did you marry? Because they're older, right? So I didn't know. I didn't want to read into anything, and there's no judgment. It's like, but I didn't want to pry. I didn't want to go, hey man, were those your kids? Which is basically what I basically did. Oh, Anna, my
That's
God.
great.
Too good.
Been
Too good.
yeah, it's been a rough I mean, it's been a great weekend, but we are so tired because I swear we went out every night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was like we were 20 again. Anna and I, we went out, we went to so many bars, we drank heavily every night because you're friends, right? And when they're from out of town, it's very intense and you all want to have a good time. So it's like you got to make it worth their while. So we're taking them to places like after the Bad Bash. We went to another what's that? On the Saturday we went to Off World, which Kevin we went to the week before, right? That's the sister bar.
Yeah, you've been partying it up, man.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
it's like, Sunday we had the barbecue and there was more drinking, and so I'm not in my 20s anymore, right? Like I can say this now. Holy shit, I'm in my 50s. My body's not built to party like that as much anymore, right? So like,
No.
my brain is just like, wait,
Yeah, me too.
Yes, Kevin, your brain too.
Let's see. People in the chat said, yeah, someone mentioned Bad Wolf saying it. Someone mentioned it to me last week too, about that being used in The Fifth Element or something in the beginning. Anyway, one more thing that happened at the party, and then we'll get started on this episode. And I cleared this with Gary. I don't know if you know that this happened, Paul, at the party.
What?
But Gary and his is it husband?
Yes.
Won a prize from Udon.
Oh,
and what they really wanted was the 2 T-shirts in the
yes.
prize. They didn't know that the T-shirt was also bundled in with this art book.
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
This Udon Entertainment Street Fighter swimsuit special collection art book. So they won it, and I'm sitting at the table with them, and Dan, Gary's husband or partner, I think husband, says, "Does anyone want this? Like, this is of no interest to me." And I thought, like, of everyone, of all the people to win this prize, it's like, so I was sitting there, and I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And so Eric comes by, Eric from Udon, who very graciously donated this as a prize for the raffles. He's like, "Oh, you got it?" I'm like, "Yeah, those guys don't want it." And Eric's like, "Oh yeah, I think that one there that you got is the French edition." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna be doing any reading in this book." Like, but there's like there's like a limited I don't know, I can't read. There's a lithograph. It's
Wow, 3
limited to
lithographs.
2000. Yes,
That's
trois
dope.
lithographies.
It's a numbered certificate. Like that is a true collector's, and it's in French. There you go, en français.
I was like, "Oh, there's words?" Like, I didn't know. Anyway, it was just like, it was the funniest kind of sequence of events that they wanted. And then I think Ryan Dole wanted it. He came by, and I'm like, "Too late. I already got it. Sorry, dude."
That's one of those where you took it, right? And then you put it behind your back or in your bag, right? Like, oh, all right, cool.
Well, his wife, his lady friend, was there.
The friend that he had?
Yes.
Right.
Great. So I had my mistress and this like art book.
It's like, wow, Kevin, he's got a secondary life here. The secret life.
Wouldn't that be so bold the first time that, like, not that I've met you, but like I bring somebody out and it's not my wife?
That's why I thought it was weird. I was like, oh, he didn't bring his wife. And then I went, oh, well, maybe his wife's looking after his kids, their kids. And I thought, well, but get a babysitter. They're old enough. I have to apologize to Joyce. Like, I honestly did. I heard this is my friend. And so I was like, huh, that's interesting. Okay, that's cool.
Would you have treated her any differently had you known that, or had you heard properly that I said my wife?
Well, yeah, I would have been digging for way more information.
Throughout
We
the night.
would have had so much fun at your expense, man. We would just It's like, let's sit down. Just kind of like what you and Anna do to me online. You gang up on me, right? So I would have been the
team
same.
up with her. She
Yes,
chooses
team
to,
up.
and I just kind of tag along, add fuel to the fire.
Right.
Anyway,
There was a couple moments during the party where Paul saw you, and he was just like, "Wow, man."
he's like, I don't want to do a podcast with this guy. I don't care how much. I don't care how much he pays me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. No, my wife knows. I said to her, I'm like, did I say friend or wife? And she's like, he said wife. I'm like, definitely. I don't know how we argued about it too over the phone, Paul. You're like, no, you said what? You said friend. Anyway, would have been a terrible, terrible impression. Andor, episode 7. This is the perfect time. We're gonna get into the episode. Just to let everyone know, spoilers ahead. Gary, what's up? You just missed it. Thank you so much for the book, Gary.
We were just talking about you.
You missed it.
That's dope.
No, but I messaged Gary. I'm like, can I please tell the story? And he's like, yeah, for sure. It was hilarious. Okay, episode 7. Just to let you know, spoilers ahead. If you haven't watched the episode yet, feel free to bookmark this video and come back and watch the replay. Or if you don't care, we'd love to have you here hanging out. I missed Mackerson over on Twitch. Thank you for being here. MattLogic44, Rick Jones. It's nice your wife is your friend. It's not always like that. I don't think that's how Paul interpreted it. But yes. We have Jason in the chat. Good to see you. And all right, let's go. Let's go. Episode 7.
Yeah, 27 minutes in, man. My cheeks hurt.
Well, we're right on schedule.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Really. We're right on schedule.
So
yeah.
Paul said he wanted an early night, so we'll be
No, I
wrapping
didn't
up
say that.
around-
I'm up now. Here we go. Hey, we didn't even talk about what we got this week in terms of toys. So we're actually
did you get
missing
this week?
segments. What's that?
Any new Star Wars toy
So
news?
much. So much. Oh, the toy news. Well, there's a bunch of Amazon exclusives that were getting dropped. I think I saw one today. It is it's yet another Mandalorian with Ahsoka.
Oh,
but it's
3-pack?
It's a 3-pack. Yes, it's the Mandalorian, Grogu, and Ahsoka, and it's from the Book of Boba Fett. So
God damn it, that's a good one.
It was so good. Like, you guys
Like
missed
27. I've been streaming for 45 minutes. What do you mean 27?
music, intro. Oh man.
yeah, that's right.
Everything.
Thank you, Bad Wolf. But yes, Amazon 3-pack Mando.
That's
Is that
right.
the
And they've got a
11th or
couple of
12th
vehicle
Mando?
releases that are in the pipe on the way. So there's that. I'm just trying to think. They dropped the other hot toy pre-order for yet another member of the Bad Batch, correct? Or am I hallucinating?
That's your game, sir.
Because so far it's they've got Echo, Hunter. Hunter was first, then Echo, and I think they released that Crosshair. That's it. They released they dropped that, so now you can pre-order that and get that in 2026 when it finally comes out.
Are you getting those?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Have to now.
Just checking.
You know what it was? I
Check.
wasn't. Anna, cover your ears. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to because I was like, oh, then you got to get all 5. But then I saw a review of the Echo from Terry Smith on his channel and then on Sideshow. And I was like, okay. All right. Full enabler points to that.
Oh man.
It was just like, it was a gorgeous sculpt and all the accessories and you can swap out. I think there's 5 different arm aperture, like arm things that you can swap out. The helmet with the head. It's just like, it was perfect. And it kind of fits. I'm not a huge fan of the when they take an animated character and try to make them look like real life.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, Black Series tried that. Where they
Yes.
tried to cross that bridge, and it was just, it always looks janky to me. In this case, it actually really, really worked because they have Tamura Morrison's face as a base, right? And then they can just sort of slowly sort of stretch it
Mhm.
between those worlds. And so that looks a lot more realistic to me. So yeah, I was looking at it going, fine. And I just got a notification it shipped today. So my Echo is going to be coming soon.
Nice.
Oh, it's shipping already. Awesome.
Yeah.
I've been following a lot of Star Wars Micro Squadron Galaxies by Jazzwares. That's the new. You got it.
Yeah.
There you go.
These are just dropped at Toys R Us over the weekend. So I was there, took the boys in the SOC crew for a toy hunt. We went to 3 places: Gotham Central, Toys R Us, and Treehouse Collectibles. So I got this. So Toys R Us are finally starting to. They're finally carrying this, which is great.
Mhm.
This is retailing for $75 US. No, Canadian though.
Mhm.
So it's just I think it's comparable. I think Tommy K got his in the States for like, I think 50 or 55 US. So
Yes.
Oh, it's pretty close.
It's close. It's
Yeah.
close. And then I also picked up the TIE Fighter. Meh.
Okay.
There you go. Michael Galaxy TIE Fighter. Sweet.
I saw the ATST and I see Asajj Ventress's ship.
That is
everywhere
correct.
at
Yeah, I
Walmart.
left
Yeah.
those. I didn't like the proportions of the ATST. Just because if you're just going to be playing with it, don't rub it in, Torrentsu. Don't rub that shit in. No, don't do that.
There's a Wave 2 has the clone dropship, I think.
Yes.
And those look fantastic.
And they
wanna
also
get
have the
those.
Chase series, right? So that was the thing. I was told, oh, if you wait, there's a Chase version of this, and it's got like the TIE fighters and whatever. And but the thing is, with this version, you get Obi-Wan Kenobi, and in the other ones, for the Chase ones, you don't get it. So it was one of those things where I was like, bird in hand with two in the bush. The Chase sequence, like that series is coming out, like that variant is coming out next year or something. So this was right in front
they know
of
what
me.
they're doing.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah. Yeah.
But then when I went to Treehouse,
Oh my
I've been
goodness.
picking up the old Micro Machine, like the Action Fleet series,
Yeah.
right? So they had a bunch of. This was $10.
Such a
This
good
was
price, man.
$10, right? And then I have in my shelf down there, it's like the TIE Interceptor, the TIE Fighter, and a TIE Bomber. Again,
I just did a Paul right now.
they're just $10. Yeah, right.
I did. I did.
You can see in the corner. Yeah,
Where?
you can see the corner over there, just
There.
down there. Right. And then so they also had, where is it?
I thought you were packing things up to move.
Shut up, Kevin.
Oh, never
So-
mind. My bad.
They had, and then in box,
There's the OG.
in box,
Yeah.
a Y wing, right? And then in box. Oh shit!
Still going.
Not anymore.
It's probably easier to buy all the new stuff, put it in the detolf, and move it, right?
Yeah,
That's
right.
what you're doing.
Raiders.
Right. So I got
That's
those.
what you're doing.
Got the advanced TIE Fighter, and
What's up, Plasty? Says, does that need Badrazis?
Razzies.
that's Kevin.
You say it so perfect, Kev. You
I've
can
been
never
saying
change
it for
it.
28
Right. You
years.
can never change it.
You didn't realize his name was Aziz, did you?
That's
No, actually, on the shoot on Sunday, the battery ran out again, and Mo went straight to Badrazis, and I'm like, damn it. It was so good. But I saw the new Black Series Ferrex Trooper.
Oh yeah,
the Mud Trooper, but I think
All
that's
black.
exclusive. And not Scout. What's the other trooper that they had on
the Shore Trooper.
Shore Trooper? Yeah,
Yeah.
the exclusive Shore Trooper
Yeah,
too.
with the blaster pistol instead of the E11 rifle. And again, but that's a straight up repaint. Like
Yeah,
we did
I
a
did,
side by side. It's a straight up repaint. You get, the accessories are slightly different. Again, you don't get the 11 blaster. You actually get like, look, baby, come on.
Okay.
Okay, it's for the channel. And then this came in the.
Oh,
I
we're
finally
still
got
going.
this. The
Nice.
George Lucas one that's I had on pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store. This one came through from Hasbro Pulse, and that's General Merrick's R2 unit, which will go
Oh, that's
really well
nice.
with the General Merrick's X-wing that I got. And then I picked this up for my geeky friends, the nerd group, collectors group. There.
Unpunched.
Yes. Yes. And then my buddy from Vancouver got me these patch sets from Galaxy's Edge.
Nice.
Oh yeah, if you need anything, let me know.
Cool.
I'm bringing an extra suitcase, but let's not go crazy, okay? You're supposed to be packing.
Hey, look, this is stuff that I got, pre-ordered like months ago, years ago.
Of course.
Is that good? Is there more?
And then the holocron.
Oh my god.
The holocrons.
These are Monster 0305. That's Justin on my
Oh,
YouTube
yes.
channel. That's him. And
Great dude. Great dude.
Yeah. Really nice guy. And of course,
Ernie-
the Kyber crystals
Oh
that
my
come with it.
Yeah.
And I also have my own set of Fetchon. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just takes them off without.
While sitting there, just
Yeah.
that little move. That was it. Yeah. Perfect.
Was there new Andor related merch?
No, there wasn't any news. There was news though. I guess we can say as we get into the episode.
Is that
the
Sentinel behind you or Galactus? Sorry, I was trying to look.
That's
around
both.
here. You got both?
That's Sentinel.
You got your.
That's Sentinel, and that's Galactus.
You got your Galactus? Nice.
Yeah, I got my Galactus before everybody started saying it. It showed up at the house.
You were the before all the cool kids got it?
Yeah, I was one of the lucky ones. And then Hasbro Pulse sends me a on its way email.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what? Are you serious? And then 2 hours later it says delivered.
Okay.
Like after it's been sitting at the house. Yeah. Thank God Corinne was home. So that was
Mine's
cool.
coming tomorrow. But sorry to interrupt. I got really
Awesome.
excited. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. No, like I said, I've been so busy. I want to open it. I haven't been able to open it yet. Yeah, so there was news, and the closest thing for Andor is that they're doing the Clone Trooper helmet, the Black Series buckets. Yeah, so
they're Trooper.
Yes, that's what they're coming out with. So that was cool. Other than that, it was retro series and more of the vintage collection.
Oh, Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Vintage, right?
Yeah, we're doing 40th anniversary, correct? So those are coming out. That was all on StarWars.com. Nothing Andor related, but there was some Star Wars toy news. So
very cool. Very cool. That just reminds me, in 2 years, that's the 30th anniversary of True Lies. Anyway, that's how long I would have been
30th anniversary? Wow.
in 2 years. Yeah, 94. All right, episode.
I love that movie.
So stupid.
I love that movie.
I just love all the neck cracking in that.
All right, episode 7 starts with Cyril sitting in his house again, and this time we get a clearer shot of his clone statues. This was the most important part to me. You guys, I'm sure you guys all looked for this, right? Paul probably tried to look around in there to see a better angle, maybe shine a light in his TV to illuminate the room. No,
just reflected off the screen.
God. Remember at Offworld, they have these fancy drinks, right? And one of them was a light base. It's like an LED puck like this with light shooting up. And you put a clear glass on top, and it has all these colors going through your drink, and it looks super cool. And it was on the table, and Paul was sitting in front of it. I think he was trying to get some food off the table, and Anna lifts the glass to drink, and all I see was this beam shoot up, like up into Paul's eyes and nose, and I just see him go, "Gah!"
It was so bright.
Was perfect timing.
Blinded.
All she did, all Anna did was just get a drink. Even when she's not trying, she's successfully trolling you. It was great. Yes. So more clone trooper toys and statues. Looks like Kodo Bukia, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool.
Yeah.
Other Star Wars properties have kids with stormtrooper toys in the past too. So it's kind of relates to what we do here. a little nerdy, geeky shout out to us. I don't know. I wanted this quote because he's just like, "How am I trifling?" But he's getting ready for his new job. His uncle has hooked him up, and sitting through more being berated by his mother about wearing a brown shirt to work, and she's just got rules for everything. It's like, oh, wearing a brown shirt screams like, pay attention to me, or I'm inadequate or something.
Well, it's because
She's brutal.
she notices he's
Oh,
got a
and Nicole.
tailored suit.
Yeah.
Like, have you tailored, have you changed the look of your suit? And he's like, I got it tailored.
And
So
his
this is
uniform,
obviously,
too.
yeah, it's a repeat. Like, that's one of his characteristics, where he wants to stand out. He stands out. He's like one of those clothes makes the man. He's very much like that. He's like one of those dudes that really dug having a uniform. So much so that he wanted to stand out doing that. And she would interpret it as, a cry for attention. Look at me, I'm inadequate type thing. And point of order as well, he's going to interview for a job. So it's not even, he's not even guaranteed that position. And she's like all over him like white on rice. She is just so like, nattering, just death by 1,000 cuts. But I also noticed too, like, and you said out loud, he's wearing a brown shirt. Brown shirts, Nazism, like that whole stormtrooper sort of mentality of all the fascist states in World War II was very white. They have a rice cooker.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the rice cooker.
Yeah, and Star Wars Tupperware.
Yeah, I didn't notice it the first time around, but I'm like, what does Tupperware look like in this universe? Maybe some sort of salt and pepper shaker?
Again, so cool to see the inside of a Star Wars apartment. Like, and that's a blender in the back, right? Yeah.
Yeah, blender for sure.
It's the old 70s style.
I was
going to
say
rice
that.
Cooker. It's the old 70s style, 80s style. So which sticks with the aesthetic of A New Hope, right?
Yes.
All that stuff. It's all of that era. And so it fits.
The old Polaroid really smart camera as a prop, things like that.
Even down to that Tupperware.
Yeah.
Those clear ones with that specific lid was old 70s. Because it was that color, or then it was the green, orange, and I think there was a yellow too. So that's hilarious, man.
Oh, I just noticed this. This is like a cabinet.
Yeah. Right, where the Cocoa Puffs are kept.
All her cigarettes.
Hidden behind a box.
Mama's cigarettes are back there. I caught you again, Cyril. I keep telling you.
I counted them all. Yeah. She rips them so bad, dude.
Yeah.
I just and for him to take it, it's so hard that he doesn't come back. I mean, he does come back. Where remember he was even like, maybe you like to come along, mother. Like, see how bad I am gonna mess it up. Like, oh, she's just on top of everything else. The way that she rips them is so harsh.
Yeah, she's relentless too. There's no break.
Yeah.
There's no break. It's just this constant sort of, I don't know. Like, she is worse than a tiger mom in that sense, right? Like, it's just, it's a siege. She's just totally laying it on him.
It's a bombardment.
Yeah. He's just, and you can tell he's used to it. Like, he's just batting down the hatches and none of it's getting, his shields are up and he's just kind of like, and it's just like almost like water off his back because he's so used to it. They've fallen back into these roles again. And there's that whole, I think there's a theme about, playing the role that you're given. And he's so used to this dynamic in the role that he plays in it. And then he goes to this place, spoiler alert, where he's got a very specific role, which is so generic and so mind-numbingly brutal in terms of the how mundane it is. So, and you can tell he wants something more. He so wants out.
All right. Enough of the Tupperware scene.
You and Ryan Dole, man. Obsessed with plates and cups and accessories.
It's just interesting to see how they, dress the set. Shout outs to Dario in the chat, the 80s baby. What's up, my friend?
What's up, Dario? Yeah, no
They
Yoko
see,
tonight.
yeah, no Yoko, vacation. Um, but they're watching the news. I like when they show the news in Star Wars. You don't see it often. But Cyril hears about the raid on Aldani, which transitions to the next part. The ISB are having their meeting, and this metaphor of closing our fists tight for their stronghold or their grip on the galaxy. It's happened a few times in this episode, earlier in the series, and also in A New Hope when Leia's like what is it? The tighter you something your grip. I don't remember that part. Somebody knows. Ernie knows. Remembers the
Yeah.
quote for sure.
Yeah,
The more
you tighten your
galaxies slip
grip,
through your fingers.
the more you tighten your grip, the more systems will slip through your fingers. That's what
Yes.
Leia
Yeah.
says to Tarkin.
For the most part. Yeah. So they call back to that kind of metaphor a lot. And the Empire is kind of reacting to the robbery very strongly. There's some stuff here, new measures being adopted, a tribute tax equal to 5 times the amount stolen from Aldani. That was crazy. And then any use of like local customs, festivals, or traditions for rebel activity. Oh, the mouse is right on this guy's nose. Let me move that. But of course, live action. Yularen. So you've seen him in Rebels, in Clone Wars, and in New Hope as an old guy, and now here. Wolf Yularen. Paul's gonna give you. Yoko says Paul's gonna give you a hard time about kitchenware when he goes into detail on hat fabric.
That's what I was laughing at.
Let's
Shut
not
up, Yoko.
remind him from last week.
Let's ban this.
Because
Can you kick her?
do you want me to make
Different
you a
from
mod, Paul?
Insta ban.
You actually have to watch the channel to be a mod. Otherwise, it's pointless. He's like, you don't pay me enough.
That's great.
Hey, what's up, Paul Morales? And also, they've kind of enacted this thing where, all right, now ISB is taking control of this kind of investigation and things going forward. You'll have access to all types of resources across the Empire in the future. And I think immediately, Deidre was like, all right, here's my chance to go get some more information and follow up on her suspicions from before. I don't know why they made a point of saying public order resentencing directive and calling it the PORD later on. Was that something that we've heard? Like we've heard that system before?
I've heard that this bill or these new orders was directly sort of modeled after the Patriot Act that George H. Bush enacted after the attacks on 9/11, where the government was given wider sweeping powers in terms of for surveillance and whatnot, and it really sort of stripped away a lot of private rights in the name of public security. So that's what I heard. This whole thing was a direct sort of reflection of that. Was a knee-jerk reaction, right? This is what we do. We're going to give the government sweeping powers to surveil and to invade your privacy, right? And so that I think that's what it was. It was this whole long thing, and then they called it the Patriot Act. That's what I
Okay.
heard.
I can see that.
But it's also the bureaucracy, right? Anagrams, acronyms, where they say, the public order is a, resentencing directive, or PORD, PORD, and it's just like that whole thing. And this actually does come into play at the end of this episode when you see, spoiler alert, when Andor gets his sentence, which was something that was, originally supposed to be 6 months. And
Right.
because of PORD, becomes like 6 years, which is insane. So, yeah.
Gives them all the power.
You really
Right.
jumped to the very last line of the episode, Paul. Actually, no, it's not. Second last scene.
It's almost there. This was cool though to see them all react to it, right? Especially the opening part of we'll show them the Empire doesn't take this. We're going to tax. We're doing everything like that. And to me, that whole TV scene with the news, that was crazy that it wasn't a hollow, that like it was an old school TV like in there. I know we'd seen other ones like that in the bar on Rebels when they were showing, you know, like in there like a bar setting, but to see it in their apartment, that was crazy. That was cool. Like just a word out there. So I mean, the word was totally out there. Remember, we saw last time it was the tablets and like this, and so to them, this is their answer of, okay, we'll show you, which is that's kind of what they wanted, right? That's what they were expecting, to come from it.
And that was the thing. Like they pretty much said they're just playing into the rebels' hands,
right?
They want, and Mon Mothma's shocked afterward. Like she's shocked in that scene later on. She's like, "But people are going to suffer."
Yeah.
Right. And Luthen's
like,
because it's like they said, sometimes you get when your rights are slowly stripped away, you don't realize it. When something horrifying happens and then suddenly everything gets like everybody suffers because of it, then you kind of realize, oh my God, like, hey, this is all we've been lulled to sleep, and this is the wake-up call type thing. And because these the reaction is so punitive and just so ruthless, and it does cause needless suffering. And, you know, on the Empire side, it's like, yes, see, we're flexing. We'll show them. And all you're doing is create that. You're totally playing into losing the hearts and minds of the people you're supposed to be governing over. Right. And it's just playing right into the rebellion's hands. So it's a really fascinating look at that.
Yeah. Again, more hand references. Much like Ernie's channel with all the feet references.
Yes.
But we cut to the next scene. Luthen is kind of listening to his radio. It's also cool to see when they're watching the news, because when we saw the news in Rebels, it was like this Empire propaganda channel.
The HoloNet,
yeah. It's like, I don't know if this is just regular news, I guess, or it's not. I don't know. Would the Empire want the news getting out like that? That like, hey, people could steal from me, or
again, kind of the beginning of everything, right? This is probably where they changed that to then where it's all just what the Empire wants to put out there and says with this whole act and the whole change. That's probably what we'll see on the next one, you know?
We hear from this broadcast that Luthen is listening to all of the personnel and the Aldani base were replaced. 134 Aldani residents have been taken into custody. They mentioned the tracker on the ship was disabled prior to it going into hyperspace. And at this time, Mon Mothma is visiting the shop again, because now that hearing this news, she has to find out like if this was Luthen, because she's working on getting him money. But this scene is watching this, I'm like, when Luthen's facing outside the window and the driver's there, he's all smiles, but he's still talking about their plans. And then the moment they turn away with their backs to the driver, like their whole expressions change. It's absolutely wild, this scene. And the fear in Mon Mothma's face is, I think, I don't know, she just does it really well to show how, because she's expressed in a few episodes ago, like, I'm the first one to get taken down if something happens. Like, everyone's watching me. So the urgency in her face, it's just a crazy scene. Also, there's other props that we see more of in this episode, or in this scene. That one. That's just a regular look. She's awesome. There we go. That's what Paul was mentioning earlier. The Empire has been choking us so slowly, we're starting not to notice. So he didn't want to wait for her money. He's going to make moves. He's like, I need cash. We've set up a network, and we're going to fight the Empire. But she also mentions she has a meeting. He couldn't wait for her meeting with this other person who may or may not be able to provide them some funds. So he wasn't waiting. So on the left here, we get a better look at the Gungan shield. This one on the very, very left that they use in episode 1. And this is a Plo Koon mask.
Yeah.
Is it his? from his ship blowing up, or a generic mask, or is it a fake? I think we've had some conspiracy theories about fakes in the shop. I think Yoko brought those up before.
Yeah, because how large the whatchamacallits were.
Holocrons are.
The holocrons, yeah.
Paul has
were-
them in his hand right now.
Yeah, they're not that large. So it could be,
You say
right? I
mine are
mean, what it
fake?
No, no. His are. If he sells bootleg stuff, I mean, what if he did have that labeled as that, right? Plo Koon's mask for you, right? I mean, if he is this type of dealer, that would be
Right.
hilarious.
Well, there's a Jedi Temple Guard mask helmet in there too. Right? Like behind the counter, there's one up top.
Yeah.
Hmm. I saw this picture today.
was
They're
quick.
like, "What do we do with the Jedi Temple now that they're all extinct?" And Palpatine's like, "I don't know, do whatever." And then someone photoshopped a Spirit Halloween tag on the outside of the temple.
And that's how he got all this stuff. He's like, oh, let me go shopping.
Yeah, but Carl said, great scene. What, Paul, Ernie, what did you think of what was transpiring in their conversation here?
The first thing that I was wondering was that Fulcrum that he was listening to, or was it just a network? Like, was that the way he was using it? Was that a direct talk to him, or is it when you have to spread news, hidden on the backside of things? So is it like one of those tapes that's on repeat? But what was it? Because it was a disguised voice.
It was a disguised voice, yeah.
Right.
Like filtered through, they made really robotic.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's enjoying it to where the other lady's like, even, wipe the smile off your face.
Yeah.
And then she shows up, and you're right. When that whole turn of him, right? Of the smile and how he does it, he's so freaky. Yeah, I got Costco boba tonight. What do you
Cheers.
got? Cheers.
I forgot to cheers. Paul's done.
Cheers.
Paul's is all vodka.
What did you get, Paul?
This is from Coco Fresh. It is their Bubble Gaga, which is more of a fruity mix. It's got passion fruit, boba. It's got the jelly in it as well. So
You got
sounds good.
boba and jelly? Nice.
Yeah, it's part of the drink. It's just like a big mix of it. It's very chewy.
Nice.
You should call it the Wookiee.
A lot of eating going on.
Yeah.
I like
Wah,
it.
wah. How about you? What did you get? I know Ernie got the Costco.
I got Costco.
Churro.
Mine's from my favorite place. It's probably the best bubble tea. Shin Fu Tang. Just regular coffee and milk tea and boba.
Nice.
I'll be up for days.
There you go.
It's all good. Yes, Paul, this scene. I don't know if you
Well,
finished
I thought the acting was exquisite in it.
Yeah.
I think on everybody's part. Everybody's
Great word.
Genevieve O'Reilly is just like, that's a masterclass in pure fear. Like she goes in, she's like, was it you? Was it you? And it's like, oh my God. And the realization of, holy shit, it was you. And she's like, do you not realize? Like she is, like Tommy's comment said, the shit's getting real. And she's terrified, but she can't show it. Like she's got to recover so quickly because she has to go out to the car. And if she leaves the car looking upset, her spy chauffeur is gonna make a note of it, right? And it's one of those things as well. He's listening. I always thought that recorded voice he's listening to was Cinta, because she's got boots on the ground, right? She can tell how many of the Aldanis were held captive, what the aftermath was, because she's there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I kind of thought, and I thought maybe part of her mission was as well is just to sort of like surveil the aftermath of what's going on.
That's why she stayed back.
Yeah, because that would be like one of the last things that you would expect is somebody who was part of that to still be there, right? Like, so she's gone. What I found interesting, that was Clea, who was she's wipe that smile off your face. She's the sort of the clerk. She was listening in on that conversation through the comms. I was listening with I watch it with subtitles on usually, because I find I get names faster that way and I miss less. And it said, like one of the descriptors was over the comms. She's listening in on the conversation. which I think is very interesting. It's like so she's listening in, and then I have a theory about her character that I'll bring up in a little bit.
Okay.
But it is one of those things where all these pieces are in motion. Everybody's listening. Luthen's ecstatic because he's kind of like Saw Gerrera in that sense, where he's very much about, he's not afraid of breaking a bunch of eggs to make an omelet type thing, right? Like for him, it's like, this happens. We need this. We can't be as humanitarian as Mon Mothma is.
Yeah.
So
you know what this proved to me too is that it's kind of crazy, right? That there isn't a leader, because we've always put Mon Mothma in that spot, right?
Mhm.
That she was like the one leading it and doing all this, and that's what's great about the show is it's showing all this different stuff, but like that where she's like, was this you? And he denied it. No, it wasn't. And then it was like, yeah, it was. So it's really a thing of nobody has to listen to anybody right now. He made this move of, oh, we have to, even though she's like, look, I'm trying. So that's what's crazy to me too, is there really isn't a leader, right? It's just these people making moves together.
Yeah,
which I always put in my head that it was her.
She's playing, spy both sides. Meanwhile, this mission goes off completely out of her control,
Right.
and you have no control over it. You can't do anything. You just have to respond. So,
but it makes, the thing is though, it kind of makes her say, because there's plausible deniability,
Mhm.
right? It's that whole thing where it's like, you don't have to worry about this, right? This is, you are known as a senator who's got the soft touch that, capitulates a little bit too much to the emperor, but you're a bit of an annoyance, and it's you're the bleeding heart liberal type thing. And so that leaves Luthen to sort of do the dirty work. And, it leaves her kind of relatively in the clear, because if she's horrified by what's going on and she's sympathetic to the rebel cause, right? It's one of those things where it's like he can continue on his merry way, blowing things up, killing people, stealing credits and stuff, and still being able to use her influence within the Senate, and she will be sort of suspicion free. So it's kind of perfect in that way.
Yeah, they've compartmentalized it, kind of like in the heist. They don't tell them where Vel and Cinta were going in case any of them were captured, I guess. This guy goes to the most boring looking job, literally pods of the exact same pods, like hundreds of them. The Bureau of Standards. Again, he's kind of interviewing for the job. They're like, "Oh, you were on Morlana? Let's leave that off your resume." But he's still focused. He's like, "There's a rebel, murderer who's on the loose, and there's some oversight because of these big corporations in charge, and I intend to make things right."
It was crazy, like all of them there, just that. And then this was his interview, right? And then it comes up, and the guy's like, "Oh, well, we're not going to put that there due to your uncle." So it's still like, who is his uncle? Who is this guy that you could even get it cleared like that, right?
Yeah. I wonder what the payoff is if it's mentioned for like 2 episodes, 3 episodes, and it's just a guy who gets him this job.
Yeah,
Like, it's got to be something, right?
I'm
Hopefully.
hoping that it does.
Hopefully. But we see Luthen's assistant, who I don't know if she's the assistant. Maybe that's just her cover. She's the assistant in the store, but
that's my theory. She's not
same level, if not higher.
I think she's actually the one pulling the strings. I think she's the boss.
You think so?
I think so, and I think it's a perfect disguise, because she goes out there and they go, "Oh well, she's just a helper."
Mhm.
Right.
And you've got a bunch of different biases, but it fits in terms of like, the sort of even if you look back at the prequels, you look at Amidala had she had a decoy, and I think that's the thing. She's set up to be the decoy, but she's like Prince Hal in Henry V, goes around disguised as a peasant, but is actually the leader. and they make Luthen look like he's the leader, but he's probably one of the dogs that she sends off to sort of go and create havoc and this and that, and draws the attention. And he can be suave, he can be sophisticated, he's got all the trappings, but I think she's the one silently sort of pulling it. I would love that to be true, and that's what I'm theorizing. Just because she meets with Vel, and Vel's like, why isn't he here? Why isn't he here? And she just sort of brushes that off. It's like, you have no idea. You're actually meeting with the person who's behind all this.
I
Right.
kind of got the sense from that on her first appearance.
Yeah.
Or when she was talking to Luthen at night,
Yes.
and she's like, I don't like seeing you like this. It's like it almost seemed like she was in charge. I got a hint, and he's like, do you have your go bag ready to go? She's like, stop worrying. There's nothing you can do. She's kind of reeling him in.
Yeah.
From getting too crazy.
And she's the one listening in. That's the other thing. She's listening in actively on that conversation. If she was an underling, she wouldn't have that access unless she's, again, it's another double take where she's spying on him without him knowing type thing.
Yeah.
So I think
that was my only thing is, do you think that he knows, that Luthen knows, or no?
That she's
the one?
Yeah, that she's above him.
Maybe, probably. I think so. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know, because I did start to think that as well too. And then, like Paul says, as we get into this scene right here, and that was my thing, was how she kept asking. It's like she didn't even give him the message; she just showed up, right? Like, this is what you have to do. So, I was really wondering, does he even know that she's up there as well?
Well, I think this was a great scene. This kind of espionage spy thing. There's little markings and directions in chalk on the ground when she's gonna go meet her contact, which is coming up. This is the part, the Star Wars version of the Patriot Act, where Deidre goes and finds the sleeping agent and says, "I need information." I think it's cool in the background. It looked like those data storage things, like in Rogue One. Remember where they had to go up and climb and find the Stardust file. And of course, there's Cinta back on the planet. She's got this really old looking homemade speeder, not sleek looking at all, almost rusted. But yeah, we don't know how she got out of there. Last we saw her, she was wearing her Imperial outfit, but now she's back at a camp and she zooms off. Are we going to see her again, you think?
I hope so. I think Paul's right as far as she's the lookout now. That's what she's supposed to do.
Especially like this, when she's there seeing the Star Destroyers arrive on the planet. She can give people an update of what happened. But what's the assistant's name? Anyway, possible Clea?
Clea.
Yes, possible leader here goes to meet up with Vel, who is in a very, very different look. It was cool to see, but they're just talking about Nemec Gorn. They'll all be remembered, and Vel was like, "That's it. That's all we're gonna do." But she mentions to him, like, "Hey, look, we have one more loose end. Is that a loose end? Yeah. What the hell am I thinking? Loose end to tie up Cassian. We have to make, because he knows who Luthen is. So I don't know. Again, if she's the boss, is she doing it so it doesn't go back to Luthen to get back to her? It's all pretty intricate. But she's sending Vel to go kill Clem, who in turn we see has gone back to Ferrix. Probably RMD is very happy because we get to see Bix again this episode. If RMD is watching later. But yeah, so Cassian now. Cassian has all the money, and he's telling. I think it was very nice to see. He calls her Ma this episode. Like it's not just a mother figure. Like he treats her like it's his mom. Because before it was just kind of like, oh, did she take him from the ship? And as a child, did she just take him? And they, what was the how deep was the relationship, but he treats her like a mother. He tries to get her to leave with him now that he's made this big score. He finds out that that dude turned him in, but he's dead. Murder, but what happened was halfway through this episode, I had to find a stream, and it was in Spanish. So I learned a lot of Spanish this episode. I also think that Diego Luna did his own lines in the Spanish voiceovers because it really sounds like him.
Cool.
Oh, did it really? That's
Yeah.
That
awesome.
makes sense.
Yeah,
It does. It
yeah.
does. Because it would have sucked if it didn't sound like it.
I thought it was so great how excited B2 got.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
when
he's
he
always like,
came
"Can I
in.
talk now?"
Yeah. And what was he gonna say? That sucks. I wanted to know what he was gonna say, and they didn't let him say it. And then he gets so excited to see him. Man, then too, it was funny was how he ratted the friend out right away, right? What was it, Tim or
Mhm.
Tom? And he's all
Timmy.
telling Tim did. I'm like, it's the guy who turned you in. Come on. That was great.
Yeah, it's crazy for him to go back to the planet though. But also really like his jacket. So I don't know. I want to see what company is going to make that long blue coat with the hood over it in real life because I want to buy that. So we're at a party that's being held by Mon Mothma, and she starts talking to her old friend from Chandrila, Tay Kolma, and he's a banker, and she's trying to recruit him so that he's able to access her family wealth, which she currently is pretty much cut off from because there's spies everywhere in the Senate. Her driver, she somehow, well, she knows he's like at an ISB plant that I have this guy, so I can't access my money. I just need you to help me get it and bring it to Coruscant, be the head of a charitable foundation. He's another one who's also not fond of the Empire too. So I think it's really cool to try to see her try to suss him out to be like, hey, is it safe for me to recruit this guy? And you know, there's only 3 people in the universe, the whole galaxy, that knows what I'm about to tell you. So another great scene. Everything in this show is just I don't know, the actors are absolutely killing it. And she's used to dealing with Luthen, and they both know how to play the role of talking, you know, under their breath, but under the guise of smiling. This guy's new. And I love the whole time she's telling, don't forget to smile. People are looking. Smile. Carry yourself like this. I thought it was a nice.
How well she plays that.
Yeah.
She knew everybody was watching. If you like really went back when I saw this the second time around, how they're walking and her back's turned, but yet she knows who's looking at her, right? From the husband to the daughter to smile. Okay, smile again. Like, man, she has it so dialed in of you got to constantly watch your back with everybody.
Yeah, Bad Wolf. That's a good point. He does
Yeah,
look
he
like
did.
a little like Valorum. People have no faith in Valorum. I call for a vote of no confidence. Like, what 8-year-old wants to watch this? Yeah, so she's forming the charitable outreach program. I think that's kind of the thing she spoke with her husband in the car a few episodes ago. But I like that she's like, "Oh, I'm taking a page out of Palpatine's book." Was it show them
The stone in your
stone?
hand so they
Mhm.
don't see the knife to your throat. It's great.
Fantastic.
Great line.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows how intelligent she is too. Like, she sees it, right? She's learned the tricks of the trade, so to speak, from the master himself.
Right.
And I love the fact that, you know, her approaching him. First of all, he talks about how, like, oh, geez, look at where you're living right now, the opulence. And she's from a rich family, and so that for him, he's like, he doesn't look like he's that badly off himself, right? So for a banker to go, ugh, I don't think I could live like this,
Mm-hmm.
right? On Coruscant with all these trappings in this and that. And I do love how he's really sort of gently trying to tell her to fuck off. It's like, nah, I think my politics, you might not like my politics. You're a little bit too soft type thing. Like, I love he's just trying to couch it in such a friendly way. And she's like, for her, that's music to her ears. She's
Right.
like, you have no idea. And that's beautiful. I love it.
My
So that-
disguise is working.
yeah. And I
Mhm.
think that gives her the confidence to be a bit more bold with him and to be able to sort of do that whole. And she's used to being in the public eye. She's, and that's the game she's been playing. And it's terrifying to her at certain points. But at the other, the counterpoint to that is she's used to it now. So she can deal with it. She knows who's watching. She knows how to behave properly.
Right.
Right. And that's a thing. And now when she's telling him to smile, that's a flex. Smile. Make sure it's
Yep.
partly to
Mhm.
cover her ass, but at the same time, she's just like, she's the one. This is probably the most control she's felt in a while.
Oh, true.
Between Luthen fucking her around, between her daughter being a jackass, between her husband being a complete doorknob, and all the stuff that the Senate. This is the first time she's had a chance to sort of like, I feel like I'm in control, and I'm gonna make my move to get this thing set up, and no one's gonna die. You're not gonna risk. It is. I'm asking the one dude in the galaxy who I can trust, and the way he's responding initially shows me I can trust him. So I
Mhm.
love it. I love like so many layers in this scene.
It was.
Anything, Ernie? Before I move on to the next one,
No, it was great. That was it. It was good.
I just
Hopefully
like
she has the help.
yeah, I like seeing a lot more aliens in this scene too. Some of the background characters,
Mm-hmm.
super cool. Cassian goes back to see Bix, and he at least leaves some credits to pay off people who are his friends. Nurchi, was that the alien? Brasso was his friend who helped him out, and with his cover story. So he comes back to leave some money to pay his debts. Says goodbye to her, and we kind of get a cutscene. This part was awesome. A flashback to Cassian as a younger child with Clem there, and we find out this is what we find out that how Clem died, and Cassian's hate for the Empire has grown from this moment. And in this moment, what do we notice as the troopers? Well, too close. They're still stormtroopers
Clone.
at this time.
They still
Or sorry, clone troopers at this time.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
close. So um,
Yeah. Look
okay,
at that.
so basically, people were throwing rocks at the clone troopers,
yeah.
and Clem tries to stop them. And when the clones turn around, all the other dudes pieced out, and he got like the ass end of that. That's a terrible way to go.
Right.
I mean, how did all those people clear out in time? They're jerks.
Wrong place, wrong time. Yeah, look at that.
That looks awesome. All the clones.
I love how they just stopped on that. It's not like the officer said, company halt. They just
Yeah.
rock, bang, bang, and they
No,
stop.
he yells stop.
Does he yell stop? I didn't see
Yeah.
that in the captioning.
I heard it in Spanish.
Oh, okay. But
So in the Spanish version, they yell it.
Yeah, and I think it was there in the subs. He says
Okay.
stop and turn, and
All right.
then that's when they go and aim and capture Clem. So yeah, it was crazy to see this part. Michael, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, did you notice how as Cassian was remembering it, he was like the old Cassian was interposed with the young Cassian
Yes.
back and forth
Yeah,
as
that
he's
was awesome.
remembering it. It's like back flash, and then you see him as a young lad, and especially later on when he charges at them with the pipe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a very cool scene.
Yeah, what do we know about him charging the clones? Like, was that referenced from an earlier episode? Or
Well, he spent time in a juvenile facility, right? When he tells
Mhm.
Skeen, right? So he said, "Wow, how old did he say he was?" He said he was 15 when he first got thrown in. So that's about the age he is in that.
Mhm.
And I think it's funny that they would shoot at an arm, a guy just standing there, surrounded by. He doesn't have a rock in his hand. He's just standing there. So they turn around and they summarily execute him for just standing there because they think he threw rocks, and yet they spare some kid who's charging at them with a pipe, unless somebody intervened and saved Cassian, and so he got, that reduced sentence, as such as it was, because you don't see the after. You see him running towards the clones, and you can kind of go, okay, well, this is probably how he gets thrown in juvenile detention. But does somebody save him? Because quite clearly they have no compunction with shooting an unarmed man in the streets.
Nice.
Versus,
I didn't make that connection about him going to the youth facility, Sippo or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Customs by Machu. Good to see you. Michael Nostalgia says, Fallen Fett, how is the new PC running, Ernie? Looking forward to the Suavemente dance in the future.
It's good. I got some tweaking to do, but everything should be good for Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I got to tweak hard on this.
What was your Yoda 8-ball comment earlier?
Yeah, it is. It's the 8-ball version. I like those ones.
Oh my god,
it's that hard crystal meth right there.
Hard Kyber.
Yeah.
There's the jacket again. Absolutely love it. I think it's because I'm in a fall winter jacket hunt mode, but that looks good.
So you need something fresh and new.
Yeah, something nobody had.
You're right.
Paul, do you have that jacket that Eric was wearing? The Boba Fett? Is it North Face or Columbia?
Yeah, it's Columbia Sportswear.
Columbia. I gotta find the Hoth ones from a few years ago.
Yeah, they had the year before that was the Norwegian, like the crew jacket that they wore for Empire, and the year before that one was the Han Solo Hoth one.
Damn, so
version
cool.
Of that. Yeah,
so
gorgeous.
I think this scene is actually really, really cool because Marva says she's not gonna go. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna fight, and ironically enough, she's inspired by the people who stood up to the Empire, who robbed them, and kind of gave her the confidence to be like, you know what? I used to avoid that town square where Clem was hanged. Thank you, Ernie.
Good
See,
job.
we're learning.
Good job.
We're
Yes.
learning. He
Yes.
hung. Clem he was hanged, and she would avoid it for however many years. And she said after she heard about how people were able to stand up to the Empire and actually do some damage against them, she's like, I put on my jacket and I walked through that square, and like I've never been happier. And it's kind of like Ezra's message in Rebels. It's like we got to show the people that we can stand up to them, and he broadcasted a whole message out to people, and it's acting like a symbol. And I think that plays into the title of the episode, announcement, right? That like, hey, rebels are here, we're doing this. It plays into the whole, even Deidre sees it, that or Dedra, that the Empire is playing right into their hands, and the overreaction is going to kind of send people put things in motion. So somebody like this, Marva, again, the sadness in her face, knowing that her and Andor have to part ways. She's like, I know you won't understand this. And he's like, it was just a robbery. But it was he was part of the actions that's kind of inspired her to not go with him. Another brilliant scene with these characters, actually.
Yeah, it was so deep. Anna has a great comment there. Hi, Anna. That was very an emotional scene that you can't stay and I can't go. I really hit when that of the whole. I used to always avoid the square, right? Because we do things that torment us. We avoid it. Like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to even see it. And it helps with that grief that you've been through to just push it away, and you think that you're getting better when you know that it's still there this whole time. And then when she says, now I can go there and everything, and I'm going to stay, that was big time. But then it was very funny at the end where she's like, don't look for your sister. Because that goes back to the whole thing of I kidnapped you. Don't you go back there. You don't know I really did.
No, I don't think there's another subplot there. Is there? I
I don't
really hope
know.
not.
It was really funny though that she's like, "Stop looking for your sister."
Yeah, this is the scene where he calls her Ma. He's like, Ma,
Yeah,
hey Ma, I don't want
we
to.
gotta leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the scene of Clem hanging from the town square, and this is where she says, "There are heroes brave enough to take on a whole imperial garrison." Like he's the look on his face, like, that was me.
But it was funny too. There's this one beautiful little moment when she's talking about that what happened there, and he's got this shit-eating grin on his like he's suppressing this smile. It's like, oh, you heard of it, right? Like, is it that was us? But then when he realizes where she's going with it, I think
Yeah.
it terrifies him
Yeah.
because he's like, you don't understand. It was just the robbery.
Right.
But it's so much more than that. And it's so funny how he just saw it as a robbery. That's it. That is how he compartmentalizes everything. He thinks he can just run away from the Empire. He doesn't want to deal with them. He'd rather look on the ground and be alive than to worry about his freedom. And everything that he believes he can do because he's got enough credits blows up in his face. And that's the beauty of this episode, is the fact that you cannot, as much as you would want to, you cannot escape oppression when it is that widespread. And it doesn't matter how much money you have in a certain sense, it's going to find, and that's the thing. I've been a part of things that have become bigger than what they actually were. You know, doing Kim's Convenience was, for me, it was a job. It's a gig. We're playing a show. The show became so much more because it meant different things to different people watching it in terms of representation, in terms of the messaging, in terms of the inspiration, how it inspires things. And then here's a nice hokey flashback, a callback to Rogue One, which is actually should be a flash, which is forward
back.
But it's like rebellions are built on hope. And that's what this raid on the garrison has done. It's given people hope to sort of go, we can stand up. There are people brave enough to do this. So I love that. I think it was beautifully acted. And again, I will say this there's some fine acting in this from everybody. Marva is spectacular.
Yeah.
In this scene, the depth of emotion. She cares. Like, these two, they love each other. And it's like what Anna said, you know, she says, you can't stay and I can't go. Like, the conviction there, and how he's just, his world is sort of like spinning. So
yeah, he's like, I finally pull off this heist and make all this money. And he has these plans. We can go anywhere we want. And all of a sudden, those actions is actually preventing him from being able to attain that. Like, it's just kind of a punch in the gut when something like that happens. Do we think Marva knows or suspects? I don't think so. I didn't get any kind of hint that she knew. Sorry, Bad Wolf. I don't know. Maybe it's just a question, but I don't think I got a sense of that Marva knew he was in on it. Oh, I've never loved anything the way I love you. Like, come on, this scene, the writing for the show. Also, yeah, this one. Stop searching for your sister. Nobody survived on the planet.
I think that line has more to do with this is what got you in trouble. You were searching for your sister. You need to stop. That's literally
I never thought of that. Yeah.
How all this shit started with him killing the two corpos, all that stuff, because he was looking for his sister. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts, all the money that he's been scamming from people has been, and he wasn't wasting it away. He's using it so he could try to find his sister. He's fallen into debt. He's doing all these scams to fund the search for his sister. And I think that's for her is like,
so her now is stopped.
Yeah, she wants him to be safe. It's like, you got to stop. You have to stop. Yeah, and that's the thing. So, that's what I got out of that dialogue.
All right, I changed my mind about the kidnapping. I'll go with that.
Another theory
That was
debunked.
good.
Ernie.
Yes.
That's two.
I know nothing about this show. That was good.
I like because we know how Cassian ends up being part of the rebellion in Rogue One. He has the manifesto. He has, this interaction with Marva, seeing her conviction here of like being so strong, being inspired by something like this. I think we're seeing a lot of things being put together to flip Andor
Mhm.
from like you said, Paul, the guy head down, survive,
Mhm.
to somebody who we know later is so fully involved. It's like, well, what could have happened? What are
Oh,
these things that happened that changed him like that? And we're getting more and
yeah.
more of that as with each episode, and it's
And
absolutely beautiful.
I think absolutely too. Like Marva's just signed her own death warrant. I think she's done.
Oh, because of the dramatic speech.
This is the whole. This will be the thing. If his
Yeah.
and spoiler alert, he gets fucking arrested at the end of this episode. Everybody knows this. We just haven't started talking about it yet. So get off my nutsack.
We still have 3 hours until we get to that scene, Paul.
She's. I think she's going to be the catalyst. That'll be it. She's the only thing that he loves the most. Yeah, he likes Bix and Brasso, but Marva is the first one he goes to. Let's go. We got to get out of here. He loves her. Like that's his mom.
Wow.
And he's already lost his parents. So this is his second, and lost his dad, his surrogate dad, losing his mom. I think her, and especially because she wants to stand up and do the right thing. I think that in the end, after him getting, wrongfully persecuted and arrested and losing all those credits that he risked his life to get, because in the end, he's got nothing, right? He gets
Ooh.
arrested. All those credits are friggin' gone. Right, because he hid them, and whoever he was with, or somebody, housekeeping's gonna find that fucking thing, and so all those credits are gone. He's in jail. Marva's gonna die, and
he couldn't do anything about it.
couldn't do
It
anything.
would have
And
been one of
Vel's
those
trying to
like,
kill.
I could have saved her.
Trying to kill him too. So it's just like, I think all these things conspiring. He'll finally go. Let's go. Fuck it. I'm gonna join the rebellion and let's do some damage. And I think he is in that Saw Gerrera camp where he will do anything now because he has nothing to lose, and the Empire has no mercy, so he's not going to have any mercy. And he's going to be like the tip of the spear type thing, and he's going to be a weapon of mass destruct, that the rebellion can use, the rebels can use to do all that dirty ass work that Mon Mothma hates, and he will hurt innocent people. But for him, it's like for the greater good. And I think when we see him in Rogue One, if 5 years have passed and he's got a lot, I mean, to borrow a phrase from Marvel, he's got a lot of red in that ledger. And now he wants to start getting out of that. And I think that's why he goes to help Jen Erso. He says, look, we've done horrible things. All of us, all these guys that join, right?
Right.
And he says, if this is the one thing that makes it worth it, then let's go. I don't know. I'm excited about this series. Anybody who says it's so slow, I'm like, fuck. It just drives me around the bend.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is so smart, and the character work is so good. And it's like in terms of building up to that particular moment, it's brilliantly connecting those dots in a way that the prequels kind of didn't. To the OG stuff.
Yeah.
Right. This is really, really fascinating things. How they're laying down the groundwork and building it up to it.
When I hear that, I think of the you didn't even get it a chance, so I'm not even gonna there's no reason to tell you oh, watch it, because you didn't give it a chance to begin with if you think it's slow or it's not building up to anything. Yeah, it is. Every episode is.
So much.
Yeah, we're talking about from the acting to the way it's shot to there's so much. And if you didn't give it that, then sorry.
This is the most well-rounded Star Wars project.
Really is. We get to see Tupperware and blenders and rice cookers. There's everything in here. Everything.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of sad now. Just predicting oh, he's stuck in jail and something happens to her, whether she passes on or something happens to her, she gets involved in something and dies, and he's this whole oh, I could have been there to help her.
think it might be brutal.
think
I do to
brutal.
yeah
Oh,
to really
God.
push him. Something to do with the Empire, right?
He's gonna snap.
Like,
Yeah, he's
yes.
gonna snap.
Yeah,
Oh
once
my
Paul said
God.
all that, like I
My
could see it,
heart.
and it is. It's it's gonna be something brutal, man, for reals.
Hey, what's up? Alfredo says, how long has this been going? Like 10 minutes more than the actual counter says, because I forgot to hit the live button. But welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Oh boy. But yeah, I think in terms of, it doesn't have all of the crazy over the top fights and explosions, but there's some of that in there. There's great acting and writing, and everything's just, I think it's just very well rounded.
Well,
But it
and
doesn't
it's a
have Paul.
different form of storytelling set in
Mhm.
the Star Wars universe, and you can have all
It
the
is.
different formats and the versions and the narratives and types of storytelling, and one is not necessarily better than the other. They all have their merits, and I, for one, really do love that diversity in storytelling. So it's not the same style over and over and over again, right? And that's the thing. And I think I just lament the fact that like some people just don't have the patience for it. And I think that's a pity. And I think it's their loss for it. Yeah, Tommy's got a good comment there. Too many people have ruined themselves with binge watching that they don't know how to watch a show anymore that drops weekly.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. This is the investment of putting in your time, and it's well worth it. It's not like it's a waste of time,
No,
it is.
not at
Did
all.
Ernie burn out again? Did his computer explode?
It says he's here with audio only.
His camera exploded.
Ernie, can you hear us? Well, Paul, looks like it's just me and you.
All right, finally, at last.
This is how we planned it.
First Yoko, then Ernie. Oops.
Only a matter of time.
It was
With
only a matter
only
of time. Oh yeah,
3
he had to
hours
submit his
left.
pictures, the pictures of his feet for his OnlyFans. His OnlyFets.
Feetsfets.com.
Bobafeet.com.
we- Ernie, let us know what's going on. You can DM me. It says you're still here.
Oh,
Oh,
there
you're
he is.
back. There you go. Did you spill boba on yourself?
He's frozen. Oh no, there he is.
Can you hear me?
No, we're talking to you. I can hear you. Can
I have
you hear
no
me?
yeah, I have no idea. I
Oh, boy.
swear to God, I'm gonna send this back to HP and I don't know, go get a Dell or something.
Did you forget to hit the go live button or
No, I'm sitting here, dude, and I started hearing beeps. And look at Raiden software just got installed. Check it out. Are you during a live stream? Thanks.
Oh, it
Raiden
started.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
I am
God.
hearing all these beeps in my ear, and I was like, what is that? And the crazy thing was my camera, mic, everything shut off, but I could still hear you guys, and my screen is black.
Oi, 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 oi.
And I'm like, again? Are you
Yikes.
serious? Yeah. Oh man.
wait, Paul, you don't watch House of the Dragon.
No,
And
not yet. I
Ernie
can
doesn't
binge
either.
it now. The whole thing's done. Now I can binge it, and I'll bitch about how fast it's going, and it's too confusing because they should just slow down. And oh my God, there's so many explosions, and why?
wait, what's this voice supposed to be?
I don't know.
What character is that?
That's my general whiny asshole voice.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that voice. If somebody's like, I don't like. I know for Anna when she's like making fun of me for being dumb, she's like, oh, what's going on? I don't understand it.
It's the big dumb oaf voice.
She does that, and so like my whiny
Ernie-
internet voice, and it's too fast. I don't understand what's going on. Why did they slow it down? Oh my God! Sorry. And it's usually I'm typing something really smart.
Well, when you guys watch Hot D, you'll understand what this comment means.
I've heard already.
Mhm.
So look, if it could pay off my house and get me a few toys, I don't know. Alfredo, you got to do what you got to do.
That's true. You're just a man trying to make his way through the
Yes.
galaxy,
Exactly.
taking off one sock at a time. Paul Morales, have a
One
great
sock
evening.
at a
Thanks for
time.
stopping by.
Bye, Paul. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened or why, but yes, that's as I was able to come back, it said, check out this update. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do.
So back to the ISB who secretly took out Ernie's camera.
Yes.
They're monitoring you, but they've reached a boiling point between Dedra and Supervisor Blevin, which is I can remember his name now because it's Kevin, but with a blah in the
Yeah,
beginning.
Black Kevin, Levin.
Blevin. With the blood in the beginning. What up, blood?
Yeah, but I love how he's calling her out and she has the best comeback. She's like, obviously he finds my conduct more interesting than doing his job properly. So yeah, let's air it out right now in front of everybody. And I love how she you know how Andor is like, oh, the Empire, you know, they're so full of themselves, they don't see what's going on. She calls it out. She's like, look, the rebellion doesn't care about these imaginary lines that you've drawn, that you have your sector, you have your sector. Yeah, I went outside of the rules and you use this new act to look for this information, but like, look, I have stuff to back this up, and I'm finding a pattern, and I can prove it. And Blevin gets completely and she flips on it. She's like, oh, I think he's just calling it out because he's worried he didn't spot it. And that's why he's trying to put heat on me. And she played it so well right there. I can prove a link between the theft of our most secret equipment and all the things that she's been investigating. And so Kyburn reassigns Morlana to Miro. Dedra Miro. That's a tough name to remember for some reason, but that's all he says to her. Well played. Like Christopher Colvin says in the chat, she's a master of gamesmanship. And that's all he says. Well played. Watch your back. So she's just one character who you really root for, but also she's a bad guy, I guess. She's still a protagonist, but she's on the Empire side, so
Yeah, it was great. She keeps doing this, right? She keeps.
Could she be part? Rabbit? Could she be part of the rebellion? Says Alfredo. I don't know. God voice came by. Because they make.
And I'm over here thinking it's my computer. Gosh dang it!
How they screen everyone? It's harder. They have to make sure they get the right people to be part of the ISB. So I don't know. I don't think she's part of the rebellion.
I think she's just pissed that she keeps calling all this out.
Yeah,
you know,
and she finally does it in front of everyone. It's like, if we're gonna get it done,
right?
No, if she was part of the rebellion, she wouldn't be pointing all that stuff out. Like, she's digging too hard right now. She's on a fast track to be. She's an overachiever, and but her background, because she's not from that. Like, didn't they promote her from like the enforcement division or something like that? Like, she was brought in from an outside department just because she thinks differently about things, and she was frustrated by the bureaucracy. Oddly enough, she was like being denied access to information, and so she was more than happy to take advantage of ports and the fact that, okay, no, you can now cross jurisdictional lines and get whatever you need to sort of get your information. So she takes advantage of that, and only because of that can she prove now all that stuff, all of her theories are true, and that's what Major Pendergast, is that his name? Pendergast? Partagast was saying, give me proof. I don't want theories, I want proof. And give him credit too, because, you know, one of the guys goes, well, that was his idea. So you're saying his idea was stupid? And she's like, It's not that. It's just the rebels don't give a shit about these ideas. Do you want to catch them or not? Right. And so that's the thing. So give him credit too, because he goes, all right, go for it.
Yeah.
Like he's smart enough to realize that, yeah, she's got a point. We can't get stuck. And because of the way information was so restricted in terms of like staying in their lanes, right? They were missing obvious sort of connections, right? Because it's like, this is my pile, that's your pile. Don't worry about my shit, right? They were just the perfect sort of like military organization in that sense. It's like, this is what we do. You do that, we do this. And you know, it's so they miss a lot. So now it's actually quite frightening that she's like now being able to reorganize all that, kind of go, let's look at the bigger picture. And she just helped the Empire get that much more dangerous because now they have the ability to kind of go, oh, okay, they've learned. And now they're going to be looking for patterns, and now they're going to be able to suss things out, right? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying her storyline as well. If we talk about everything that's happening in the series so far and all the great character development and writing, this is another one. Partly gas, part to gas. We cut to this. I just keep thinking of like Miami or something. This nice tropical looking beach front where Cassian has flown off to for vacation. Again, here's the box that Paul referenced 2 hours ago about his haul being hidden above the shower. You see some Black Series credit collection props here with his blaster. Definitely
nice.
Miami, says Carl, right? I was trying to see if the name of the planet was a play on anything. Was it Niamos?
Oh, that would have been a good one.
You spell Miami? No, you can't.
I thought so.
Niamos. Anyway, close enough.
Yeah.
Rusty says Acapulco?
The only thing I had thought was like, I know Miami, but Samoan, like backwards, but it's not, you know?
Simo. Yeah. Those are the same letters. Nice. Nice de-jumbling there, Ernie.
Oh, it's so funny because you said that. I thought I was the only one who did that. Because I saw it too, and I was like, what does that mean? Is that hiding something? Because doesn't it automatically look like that? Like it is, right? Like you're supposed to. Like, oh, they're gonna catch this, right?
All right, here we go. So yeah, he's just hiding out here, living it out while he's got his heist money, his loot. And I took the screenshot because there's this topless dude. I just realized now he has a robotic leg.
Yeah.
That I didn't see. And they're playing is this the hollow chess?
Yeah.
No, that's real.
No.
Yeah, it's the real version of it, but that's the game.
Yeah.
Those are the figures. So those are the actual like it's
doing
not the
some-
holographic version, but that's the game that they're playing.
Tabletop gaming with miniatures, hand painted. I want this guy as a figure with a robo leg. I didn't even see that to begin with. But Cassian goes out for a walk. He's going to the store for some supplies, and he sees some people running from some shore troopers. And, you know, how did you guys react when this droid unit kind of rises up from this stair area? Paul, is this Dejarik? Is that the game?
Yeah, that's the name.
Yes.
That's the
Okay,
name.
yes, that's right.
I saw it. It was like, oh, is that K2SO? It's like, of
Yeah.
course it's not. Of course it's not. It's way too early in the game, but that's part of the universe building, which I
Mhm.
think is great. The shore troopers, it's so funny. It's like that's the only difference between you need a beach, shore troopers, get them in there, right? I thought it was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool Easter egg about that one shore trooper. If you don't know, Sam Witwer did the voice for it. Whether he was actually in the suit or not, I don't know, but that is his
in this
voice.
episode?
It's been confirmed.
Nice.
The shore trooper's like, why are you sweating? It's like,
Mhm.
all right, you stay here. It's like, he's such a prick. And it's one of those things where it's just like well, you're just picking on me. Like, what? And he's like, oh, you're looking. It's like, what are you doing looking at the sky? Walking, huh? too busy to, it's just like it didn't matter what Cassian said, he was gonna get screwed.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's the perfect, like, I love it because it's like he thinks he can, like, talking about what we did before, he thinks he's in the clear, that he can get away from it. It's like you can't. You
Right.
cannot. The trouble finds you. And it is unjust and it is unfair, but it is so that experience. But yeah, that's a KX droid. Love it. I love how the other one's just dragging those two
Yeah.
other guys, just
like taking out garbage in the morning.
yeah, right. Sacks of meat, basically, just throwing them around. And how literal the KX droids are.
Mhm.
Hang on to him. He said, "Hang." It's like, no, he meant watch me. Hang. It's like, holy shit.
Do we know? It's not referenced in Rogue One how he gets the K2SO droid, is there?
No, it's been established in a comic book though.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
How he reprograms him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And those are supposed to be canon, but I would like to see that get rewritten. And something happens here. Yeah.
Yeah, they can do it.
Yeah, right. Because it's just a comic, but some of those comics that they do write are supposed to be like everything's supposed to be completely canon now and going through it. So that's the story for now. But if they change it, I wouldn't mind that. That'd be cool. Because just seeing the interaction gets you excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially he didn't mean literally like that. That was funny. That was great. You know what, too, on this part? I was tripping the very first time that I watched it as he's walking and the people are running and they were just sitting there on those platforms. I really thought, what are they looking at? What are they doing? And then I was like, are they just really just staring at the water? That's all they're doing. And then it hit me. Oh, wait, that's what we do when we go to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. I was just like, oh.
Is that what you do when you go to the beach?
That's all everybody does.
I'm usually reading something like this.
Is that what you bring to the beach to read?
No, Kevin's usually wearing something like that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm fully covered. But we do. You set up your blanket and your spot and you just stare at the water. So
Ernie's completely covered with a towel. Only his feet are sticking out at the bottom to get a nice tan.
That's it. You got to keep him fresh for the show. Yeah, I was totally laughing, man. I was like, because I really was. I was like, what are they looking at? Oh, they're just staring at the water. Oh, right, because that's exactly what we do. Never mind.
These droids are awesome, and probably some of my favorite Black Series figures. Do they make a hot toy of him, Paul? They do,
yes.
Right?
Well, they're on pre-order right now. So they have the K2SO, which I have, lucky enough to get one. It's all die-cast, love it. But they have a pre-release now. It's on pre-order, the KX Enforcer droids, but they're from Mandalorian Season 2, I believe, when they talk about the Siege of Mandalore and that very Terminator-esque scene of them, all of them like shooting at the ground. So there's that. And I'm sure there's going to be an Andor variant with sand.
True. Sandblasted. Yeah.
Why not? With Andor. You can chokeable Andor. You can pin him up against that.
You can have a swappable face for the regular Andor figure of the choke face.
Yep.
So he ended up being arrested just for walking out to the store. Wrong place, wrong time. And as Paul alluded to earlier, what would have been a 6-month sentence now under these new laws and this new act is now a 6-year sentence. And we got the old school credit card sliding machine here that engraves these empty plaques with their charges. I haven't translated this.
Somebody did
at all. Somebody did.
I saw a video and like there's a bunch of Easter eggs in it because these do not match up at all with what they're saying.
Oh, really?
One of them is like, it says the name of the convicted person, and one of them is a concept artist on the show. His name,
super cool.
And then what are the crimes, and the one that Andor, what it says on it apparently is like Jedi activity. He's got like it's really in a sentence is 25 years or something. So it completely does not match up with what's being said on the screen, and so that's a deep cut, sort of like little nerdy Easter egg thingy. If you wanna go through and translate it all, but that's what I've heard. The first one, there's 2 different ones, and the one here he gets sort of tagged with he's got force sensitive suspicion of being force sensitive
Oh,
or
really?
something like that. Yeah, it's really, really funny.
Oh, that's crazy. But yes, the old credit card rolling machines for the younger generation before tap and swipe. You put your credit card on some, what's that kind of paper called? And you
Carbon
roll
paper.
it over carbon paper.
Yep.
Oh,
you
man.
And that's in
sign.
triplicate, right? 3
Uh-huh.
different
and
layers.
You
Put the card
sign
down,
one
you
to
put the carbon sheet
store.
over it, and it's got these pre-filled, and then you use that rolly thing, which would press down the paper onto your card and leave an imprint. That's why your credit cards have the raised numbers on them.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at them, they're not just printed onto the card so it's flat. Your credit cards have those raised numbers, and it's not for blind people. It's so back then you would just clack it over, and it would press the carbon paper and leave that imprint, and then you would get a copy. The merchant would get a copy, and then they would send in the other copy to the credit card company.
That's funny. That never actually clicked to me that that's why it's raised, and it's still raised now.
Yeah.
And do people question, like, why is it raised? Or that they keep doing that? I guess in, I don't know, other countries that don't have the advanced credit card machines, they're still doing this. Oh my God, Sexbot says, "Hey gang, support Toying Around by slamming that
Hey!
thumbs up." Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, definitely listen to the Sexbot if you're enjoying the stream so far. We're almost 2 hours in.
Chat
And
69 XYZ.
I like how they joined in after we talked about K2SO. That's probably why. They're all
well,
finally.
last week on Thursday, I think I forget who it was, said they signed up for the site already, and one of the accounts replied, "Thank you."
Wow.
All right, that's funny. I mean, I'm gonna keep them in the chat now. Now that they have my, probably now because they have my credit card information, they're being nice. There you go. Aiden's Gate says my wife's office still uses that credit card, that system for credit cards.
Damn, for reals?
There you go. Do the blind need to read other people's credit cards?
Well, no, they would use Braille, which would be
Yeah,
completely
right?
different from just the raised numbers. So it's not for the blind.
I'm gonna make the sex bot my admin.
They're all happy. Thanks.
All right. And Tommy says Sexbot actually made me check, and yeah, did you leave a thumbs up, Tommy? There you go. Man, should have gave the Sexbot a gifted membership to the channel. And then ban them. I think this scene was really cool to sell how Cyril is such a small cog of this whole outfit. It starts off with him, it's really zoomed in to his face, to his finger kind of working, and then with each shot it just keeps going further and further out from here to like this, seeing all these desks and pods in the bureau of his boring ass job. And
They look like TIE fighters.
They do look like
right? The swarms and swarms of TIE fighters.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the reason is they just put this at the very last scene with not much else going on? Are they setting up for a big Cyril plot twist in the next episode?
I think so. I mean, his story's got to be going somewhere. It's not like, the end of Andor is Cyril just checking out and going home and eating cereal. It'd be so sad.
To his mom.
That's the thing. He's a cog, and he's doing the one thing that he despises. He's blending in. He's not standing out. His entire character arc has been about standing out, doing things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. Yeah. Andor's
Carl,
in prison.
I like that.
Carl Karn? He's in prison.
Carl.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Mirrored shots, Andor imprisoned, Karn imprisoned. I like that. parallel storylines, perhaps. Alfredo says typical call center. And that's the episode. I mean, post heist, but still like a 40-something minute episode with a lot of good content building up for the next arc, kind of setting the tone for the next 5 remaining episodes of the season. And it doesn't have to end there. There's more stuff. Now Vel is going to be on the hunt for Cassian. What's going to happen when they finally meet up? What's going to happen with Cyril? What's going to happen with? There's a post-credit scene.
No,
Is
I
he
didn't know that.
Is he joking?
If there was one, I didn't see it.
Nobody
I didn't see
did.
it
I've
either.
never seen them do that
I don't think I've seen Star Wars
ever.
really do that. You messing
Yeah.
with me, Bad Wolf.
No, they did that with remember Mandalorian, end of season 2 with Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, that
was-
was forgettable.
They there was that total with Boba Fett coming in, killing fat Bib Fortuna. There's no cutscene. He's lying. I'm
They
just
put that
checking right now. You
cutscene
made
in
me
there
check
to-
this.
To sell one more Boba Fett hot toy set to you, Paul,
Yeah, and it
Hey,
worked
got
because I
you.
have it.
Yes.
and Ernie.
Next month, finally. I can't.
But hey,
wait.
Paul.
Yep.
You kind of gave your impression of this episode earlier. Like, it's not this crazy action-packed, fast-paced, but it's still a quality episode, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the action is there though. I mean, it's just not constant action, which is what makes me. That's a head scratcher for me because this is again, yeah, it's got a different pace than the other series, right? 12 episodes instead of what? How many do we get? Like 8 for the other series, right?
6.
You okay? 6,
6.
right? So
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, you've got double the amount of episodes. It's character driven. I think it would be unsustainable if it was all just like action, and it makes me kind of worried because it's like, have we become that sort of? I mean, for lack of a better term, simple in terms of the story structure that we crave. For me, this is world building. This is it's the slow, and people say, oh, it's a slow burn. It's like, no, it's a great setup for a fantastic payoff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. My kids want to skip through the first like hour and 15 minutes of Home Alone just to watch everybody, Kevin destroy the burglars at the end, right? And and I get it because that's an exciting part, but that's the payoff. The build up to the payoff is what makes a payoff that much more exciting. And that's what I like. I like that there's a build up, that all these pieces are coming into place, and then when it hits, it goes like stink. I love that. I think that's something as an audience, as fans, we need to build that because there's these episodes are so rich. There's so much in all of them. To just sort of like fast, like, well, I was bored. It's like, well, what do you want? Like, what do you want? You want more explosions? You want more explosions? It's like, fuck, come on. Don't call it boring. It's not boring. It's rich. There's so much stuff there that you could just dissect and look at. And it just makes me wonder sometimes. It's like, okay, you didn't think that was really interesting? Wasn't worth your time? Okay, that's fine. I will happily digest all this and go through it and watch it multiple times and just really enjoy the fuck out of it. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm not saying all the other series are, oh, they're too simple and too fast and everything explodes. I'm not saying that at all. They're different types of shows. There's nothing wrong with that. I, for one, am really liking the change of narrative. I like that. I think it's really great. It's set in the Star Wars universe. So
Mackerson says, I want instant gratification and I want it now.
And that's the thing. I think I think it's a bit of a pit. That's a pity. That's a pity. Because I think it's there's something really, really cool about the buildup and the anticipation. Look at how ridiculously excited everybody was for the heist to actually happen. Everyone was just like, oh, come on. They were all jonesing for it. And when it finally happened, everyone was like, oh my God. Like, you don't get that level of satisfaction If the buildup isn't there, you don't. You get bored. If it's all pew, 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 everything explodes, we get away. People get bored of that shit. And they kind of, okay, well, we've seen it. But if you invest in the characters and the storytelling and the writing and the set, the scenes and everything about it, and you tie it all together, and then you get something like that with enough twists in it to keep you interested, I think there you go. That's what makes it awesome. Right?
Yeah. Personally, I can really appreciate like the writing, the dialogue, and just watching these actors kind of go all out. What's up, Val A? She says, I just finished the episode and didn't see any post-credit scene. That means you had time to watch the entire episode during our stream and come back. Thank you so much. There's always one that does that, and I definitely appreciate you. Tommy says, I actually just went to check and didn't see any. Anyone can make Tommy go check anything if the last 10 minutes have shown. The sex bots are like, go hit the thumbs up. And Tommy was like, yes, sir. Like, oh, I didn't hit the thumbs up. What? Post-credit scene? Allow me. And I appreciate that, Tommy. Thank you. Ernie, how about you, man, this episode?
It was good. I love it all, man. The story is great. And yeah, it's different Star Wars, but it's still Star Wars. And it is giving us so much to not look forward to, but that buildup that you're talking about, Paul, is definitely there. And then, like we keep saying about all these other characters, I mean, it's not just Andor himself, right? Like, what's going to happen to Mon Mothma? How is this going to play out? Luthen, especially Vel now. If she's supposed to be like on the hunt for him, and we know this was, and that was another thing too, there was a time jump there, right? So how long is that, right? Don't you think there was a time jump? Because at first I thought it was another flashback.
Right.
Oh, no, I don't think it's much. Because they're talking about, on the news.
It's just a few days.
The raid just happened on Aldani.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to be reacting to it. The ISB's reacting to it. I don't think too much
the beach scene.
Oh, the beach scene.
Well, I would think that's just a few days, honestly.
You think so?
Because he's still counting his. It's new enough that he's counting his money in the shower, right?
Okay.
And then he's still hiding up there, and that. I mean, I don't think it's like months or weeks. I think it's days. It literally is days still on that, new days.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. So first thing he did, he went home, right?
Yeah.
Try to get
and
Margaret,
then he
try
took
to get
off to
fixed.
this place.
Yeah, and then
got himself a woman.
Back, yeah, went back. Got himself a woman, and then got himself arrested for just.
He's like, well, if mom's not going to use this money, I
Well,
have to somehow.
he had to go back first because he's traveling and he needs his passport. And of course, as every grown-up knows, your mom has to hold your passport. So he had to go get it first.
You mean the chain code?
Yeah.
Chain code.
She has
Now,
all the
wait.
different
Here's the
ones.
thing. So when he was being sentenced, they didn't use his real name.
Mhm.
He had
Right.
a different. So he's still under alias. So they don't say Cassian Andor. Right?
Yeah.
See, look at
Or it would've
Alfredo thought
been
that the beach scene
worse,
was in the
worse.
past. I did too at first, and then it was like, oh no, it's now because of the sentence when they had said. I thought the beach scene was a flashback too. I did when it
Was
first
a
happened.
flashback?
Yeah.
So it takes
way
place
that it
before.
No, I had thought that, but then when they did the sentencing
Yeah.
and they say this used to be 6 months, now you're getting 6 years,
Yeah.
then it computes, oh, this isn't a flashback. And then that's where it turned into, though, is this how long are we seeing this? Is this, I felt like it was time has gone. Like a few months, not days. That's the
Okay.
way I took it. So I would like
I
to
was
see what
worried,
plays
like,
out.
I'm like, how is he going to get out of jail in the 6 years and the 6-year
Correct.
sentence?
So we know
when
something's going to happen.
Rogue One is in 5 years away,
Correct.
right? Yeah.
Right.
So
So we know
I'm
something's
interested
going to
to see
happen.
where that's going. Plus, also usually if they do flashbacks in Andor, they have the place and then they do the timeline underneath, right? like however many years.
Well, they
BB
didn't do that when he was having when he was remembering his
true,
Clem
that one.
getting killed. They didn't do that. No, I think I definitely didn't think it was a flashback. I don't think that much time has passed though between when we see like him being on that planet on Nemo's. Niamos? Nimaus? I don't know.
Niamos?
Niamos. I don't think there's been that much time, honestly. I think it's been a few days. And I think just, the flexi. Look at how fast they enacted the Patriot Act and how quickly like they were able to deploy like police departments and military units around the world. Like because they're still reacting to such a big blow, they went, right? And that's kind of a military, one of the strengths of the military organization is how fast they can redeploy everything, right? At a moment's notice, like they have to be able to scramble. So, it doesn't surprise me that they were able to sort of like really hammer down hard, like to push through all the bureaucracy. And they're basically expanding powers. If you're taking away powers, it takes longer. But if you're giving fresh powers, especially to like civilian or government, then they can enact that almost immediately. And so that's why I don't think there's that much time that passed.
Yeah, that kind of thing is like go go go. We have the power to do it now. There's a reason they wanted to get to that point because they needed it done. So I didn't get the sense that it was a flashback. Alfredo says, didn't he mention that in a previous ep he had done time for 6 years?
But he was a kid. That's what he's talking about when he was on Sippo, right? For charging the clones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If this was a flashback, he would have looked way younger, too, right? He wouldn't have been dirtbag Andor, who's hiding. And like, why is he hiding money in the shower?
Yeah. He was in the military, I think, for 5 years. With what was when he was telling Luthen in the premiere episodes. But
when
I
he
don't
was
think
a cook?
He was on Minbin, yeah. He said for 2 years. He was on Minbin. He said, no, you're there for 6. He served for 2 years. He said, no, you're there for 6 months. And you're on the ground
lying.
and you survived because
Right,
you were a cook and you ran. So even that was a lie. Right. So
either way, we get to see cool new planets and aliens, and there's a place for Star Wars lightsabers and force moves and people having crazy lightsaber fights, and there's kind of the regular ass people in the universe who don't do any of that crazy stuff. It's still in universe, and I think it definitely adds to the whole lore of Star Wars, and I'm here for it. And there's other Star Wars things to watch if this isn't your bag, but Tales of the Jedi is coming out in 2 days, so if you want more Jedi action, you can watch an animated young Dooku or the story of young Ahsoka, right? So there's that coming up. Lots of amazing content, and I'm here for it. Unfortunately, I'm literally not here for it next week because I'm gonna be away. So we're gonna schedule out what's gonna happen with the next few episodes. But this has been a lot of fun watching these shows. Are you two watching anything else in the meantime?
I need to start watching House of Dragon and Rings of Power. I think they're both done now, so now I can just roll through those. Anna and I, we've we're late to the game on this, but What We Do in the Shadows, want to catch up on that. I'm just trying to think now. Yeah, Andor. That's it.
Andor finished She-Hulk last week. Andor
She-Hulk.
next episode comes out
I gotta watch She-Hulk.
soon. Yeah.
Gotta binge that.
There we go,
She-Hulk was
RMD.
great.
What's up? You missed all of the Bix talk, and I don't think we're gonna see her again. Sorry, dude. She's gone. Andor said, "Forget about me." She's like, "Yeah, I've done that before. I can do it again." It's like, damn, that's cold. That is
Mhm.
gold.
Did you guys
Um,
watch Werewolf by Night?
Yes.
That was good.
Wait. Yes.
Got to watch that. Got to watch it. So much stuff to watch.
It is.
Bad Wolf says, I think Mandalorian captured the heart of Star Wars as an adventure serial, but Andor is arguably the best produced content to date, maybe even more so than Empire Strikes Back, he says. Yeah, I said it. That's a bold statement. Let's see how that works out for you. But yeah, this was an awesome episode, and had a lot of fun chatting with you two gentlemen. Yoko, if you're out there, you are missed, and you will be. Well, when we return, we figure out a date. It'll be great to have you back. I'm on vacation next week, and what about you two? You guys streaming this week? Can people look forward to your stuff?
Yes, I will definitely be on tomorrow. No, wait, Wednesday at 5:30.
And
Cool.
Paul, how about you?
This is the week leading up to the high holidays for me. Halloween weekend is coming up, so we don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming on Sunday or not. We missed last Sunday because we had guests from out of town over and was recovering from the Bad Bash. So it'll be a game time announcement depending on what's going on. There's lots of cosplaying to be done this weekend, and so we might not be able to make the stream this Sunday, but usually on Sundays at about 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock Eastern, I do Fun Boxing Sundays where I open up a bunch of my geeky collectibles, do a half-ass review, and we chat. And there's a drinking game. We have lots of fun. We tell Tommy to shut up. And generally, I drop magnets and get befuddled by my many nemesis like tape, tiny batteries, and alcohol. So join us whenever we're up on the air.
How did you feel when at your event you had the whole place? And also, I'm going to pose this question to Tommy. Tommy, how did you feel when the whole of Stormcrow yelled in unison, "Shut up, Tommy"? Paul, what was that like? Did you feel like a rock star in the moment?
That was incredible. I think that was the whole. I was not expecting it to be that loud. I thought maybe like 10 people would get the reference, but everybody,
everyone
on the second floor yelled, "Shut up, Tommy." And it was one. I think he loved it. He loved it. How could you not love that? Right?
I wonder if the rest of the place was like, "What the hell did this Tommy guy do?" Like, the whole place was like, "Shut up!"
Yeah. And we had some really great prizes that we gave out to a lot of happy people. You know, you got that hentai book, and then
nice.
Let's call it what it is, Kevin.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
It's French.
Hentai.
It's French.
Your French hentai.
It is pronounced lay hentai.
Hentai. Right? En français, noash.
Hentai.
We gave away the Grogu, the 1-to-1 scale replica model of Grogu, right? The Hot Toys, 1/6 scale. What's that? Jason Voorhees and Leatherface. You know, the book packages from Udon Entertainment, the Grogus, and the prize packages from the Blue Jays. A lot of really great prizes. Yeah, everybody stuck around for that, and I can't wait to see how much we raised. I think it was a lot. I think it was a lot.
That's awesome.
I'm going to use that as a really good segue, Paul. First off, thank you for an awesome event. But in the spirit of giving away things, Halloween is coming up, which means the holidays are right around the corner. I know here in Toronto, there's a lot of toy drives. And every year I like to try to remind people. I participate myself, but also want to remind people, like, if you're out toy hunting and you see like a cool toy on clearance, or maybe you've bought a few too many. That's not a shot at you, Paul. But if you bought a few at home, you saw a good deal and you're like, "Oh, this is great." You bought it, you never opened it. You can take that time, take that extra unopened toy, take it down to a toy drive around the holiday season. Here in Toronto, I usually try to bring stuff to Toy Mountain, run by Salvation Army, and it's just a chance to get a toy into the hands of a child from less privileged families, I guess. And I think it can really help out people during the holidays. I've been trying to pushed for stuff like this for the last few years, and it's just, just think about how much toys mean to us. Look at behind me, behind Ernie, behind Paul. I'm sure most of the people in the chat collect something or another, and you buy toys. I think of it as look at how many toys I buy the first 11 months of this year. That I think when December rolls around, like maybe grab a couple things, throw it in toy drive, and just want to remind people that there's great toy clearances in the US sometimes. If you want to grab a few things, if you're out hunting, pick up an extra toy, and you do have that option, and you can definitely help make a difference because maybe you donate a toy to a family and that kid grows up and becomes a huge toy collector like us, and we set them down this terrible path. No, but at the very least, you can make them make a great holiday for them. So just want to remind people of that during this time of the year. Um, Paul, Ernie, I think it was a fantastic stream tonight. We miss Yoko, but we handled it. I think I myself was utterly professional, no missteps at all, and I think we can keep it up.
Yeah. That's what you got to tell yourself, buddy.
You keep saying that. We'll keep believing it.
Come on, guys. Nobody knew.
You pressed the end button 10 minutes ago, Kev. You've just been
Oh
talking.
my God, yeah.
No.
We've been off the air for like
About the
15
toy
minutes.
Yeah. Nobody heard, but I like your speech, though. It was good. It was really good. Yeah.
Damn it. Okay. So yes, Ernie is streaming tomorrow night and
Wednesday.
Thursday. No, Wednesday night. That's right.
Wednesday and
It's
Thursday.
Monday.
Monday.
Make sure you follow Boba Squadron to find out when the next stream will be, but we might have to take some time off due to scheduling. But it's always a pleasure to talk Star Wars, with my friends, and to talk Star Wars with you in the chat. Everyone, Paul, Ernie? Wait, we don't have Yoko to do the outro.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I'll just hang it up now. If I just did a hard stop
Yes.
mid-sentence,
Bye.
it'll be on brand. Ernie, you got it?
Yeah. Thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, welcome. We are the Boba Squadron. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and hit all so you don't miss when Toying Around is on or those great specials. If you want to become a member of the channel and you can get some great video content, don't forget, probably next week will be the Hunting Around series featuring Paul, a very long one, which is going to be great. And Kevin usually is on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Paul has Fun Boxing Sundays on Sunday around 4 or 5-ish Pacific Standard Time, and I'm on Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And Yoko is on Twitch with her Midnight 30. So go over there and join Yoko to see what show she's going to be coming on with. And again, check back on Boba Squadron for when we will appear next, and we'll see you guys. Have a great week. Thanks.
Have a great night. Peace.
Bye.
Shout outs to this sex chatbot